Joining us is David Lafferty, who's the Senior Global Grocery Category at Whole Foods. And he comes bearing treats, which is super exciting. How are you doing? How are you enjoying the show?
Fantastic. Great event. Thanks for having us.
So, look, I know most of our viewers know who you are. You're quite a personality in the industry. But what is your role at Whole Foods?
I'm a personality. Interesting. Well, I've been in the natural food space for almost 20 years, the last 12 and a half at Whole Foods Market. I've worked on the global grocery team for the last 6+ years, and currently the last 2 years my role has been as a senior category leader, and there's 4 of us, and we collectively lead out the category managers and merch assistants that support the merchandising decisions at Whole Foods Market, and my specific team is the candy and snacks team.
Well, and by personality, I just mean you've had an impact on a lot of the brands in the room.
Oh, I took it in a flattering way.
They get to have, get to know you, and you're sometimes the first person they interact with, and really help shepherd their brand onto shelves. You and your team.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about the team in Austin.
Yeah, so we have a team of for grocery specifically, but there's similar org structures with our whole body teams and supporting our specialty department. And we have a team of about 25 category managers and merch assistants, kind of spread out over the 87 categories that we're responsible for in grocery.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot going on. And they're working on a collaborative framework with our regional buyers and our regional teams and our local foragers, our product developers on our EB team, to kind of put forth the best assortments, the best products out there for our customers to enjoy.
And a lot of the products that are in the audience today, I know started off as regional products and moved up and gained regions and now are in national distribution with the stores.
Yeah, absolutely. I contend, and I always enjoy, the thing I enjoy the most about the business is really working with the startups, really working in the entrepreneurial space. They're really trying to solve problems at a micro level and kind of bring it up to scale. I loved Kara's comment yesterday about the brand Lorax. So over time, you get to see the evolution of some of of these brands and understanding kind of their arc of development. And it starts with a founder or someone trying to solve a problem and goes from there.
So, speaking about evolution, you've been with Whole Foods for over a decade. Looking back, what's one trend or emerging category that it was really exciting that it's had staying power for so long?
I'd say the largest trend, the largest thing, the thing that kind of probably drew me to the space and keeps me there is the transparency. Well, that's transparency in a label, transparency in ingredient, transparency in seeing who made something, how it was made, where it was made. There's a story behind it. And I think that just continues to evolve, that the customers clearly have a preference to know more about their products than ever before. That's oftentimes the entry point for folks into the natural product space, and we certainly see that every day at Whole Foods Market. We're really the place where people come and explore and learn.
And it's great, as I think the internet has developed, social media, there's so many new ways that Whole Foods is telling the story of the brands on its shelves. You follow the store on Instagram, I do, and there's posts like what's new, here's who's behind things, and it's such a unique way to get to interact with the store and learn more about it.
Absolutely. And we continue to kind of test the conventions of that. And I think it's the nice thing about that space is at a very low cost, a little low barrier to entry, folks can tell their stories. Tell the stories on the device. I think the last 3 or 4 presenters we've talked today, it's very device forward. Everything lives there. So yeah. Love Instagram. I think it's fun to follow those brands, whether they're a small startup, an emergent brand, or even the larger brands. I think they scale out and do terrifically well on Insta.
I sometimes get a bit of FOMO when I see brands in other stores, though. I'm like, Whole Foods South region has this. I want that brand, So it is, it's, Brian touched upon this a little, it does create that demand where you get excited, and I go to my local Whole Foods and I'm like, hey guys, I know this other region has it, this would be super exciting to see here, so.
Well, we're constantly working on that as an access point, to see the brands that scale out, but again, the fascinating and the really kind of the underlying value of the social platforms is the people that get connected to these brands, a place to discover at a very low cost, barrier to entry both ways, and then also to get information and feedback about your products in a very personal way. And so I think that's definitely the path forward.
And talking about a path forward, there's been a lot of forward movement in Whole Foods, at least in my region, which is the North Atlantic region. There's been a lot of forward movement in the categories, and there's been a ton of category resets with a lot of these emerging brands appearing on shelves. We were just talking about Yaz Thai and Siete. I walk in and New Primal. There's these awesome new sets. That must have been a big undertaking, first of all. And second of all, what are some trends that become apparent when you look through all these category resets?
Sure, those results are a result of the collective efforts of the teams that I talked about earlier. They're working back 52 weeks out, just kind of on insights, and that feeds into line reviews and category reviews, and ultimately, as you get closer and closer, you're developing a little more tailored assortment. You get right into planogram work, and that gets executed at retail. So the things that you saw pop up, maybe really actively starting in May and June this year and rolling through to our round 10 resets in October, that's 52 weeks worth of work.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a large, long process.
Well, speaking of 52 weeks in advance, we're right in the thick of holiday season. Now shoppers are thinking about, what am I going to do for Christmas, getting gifts for Hanukkah, New Year's. You guys were planning for that a long time ago. What are some exciting things in store for the holidays?
Well, I think folks come to us for discovery across a number of ways to enter the store, whether they're looking for something specifically free from or alternative diets, and we're oftentimes the destination for them to find those things to fulfill need states for their holiday meals. We have a ton of indulgent. I brought these, and I'll shill a little bit. A ton of indulgent products that our EB team and our product developers worked on, as well as branded products on offer. Just pivoting out of Thanksgiving, now pivoting into kind of winter holidays, and so excited about that. And the overall trend, the things that we see at this point in time of the year is folks still want to have fun, they still want to be indulgent, they still want to have a better for you option, and so we truly believe we're the place to find those items.
And at least I can only speak from when I was at Whole Foods. The holidays were sometimes, which is far less experience than you've had at that store, but the holidays were a time when sometimes new shoppers would come in and experience the store and pick up, treats or gifts and really get to be introduced to Whole Foods and learn more about it. And it was such an interesting, sometimes, gateway period for new shoppers to come aboard.
Yeah, well, not only in our grocery department, across the total store, and then even more in center store. Talk about whole body, and there's a ton of gift ideas.
There is a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex in my whole body department that I make eye contact with every day. I'm like, some kid's gonna get this giant dinosaur and be so happy.
I've put some of those points on the board at home myself. Yeah, and then our special. I can't think of a better way to celebrate holiday family connection community than with the products we offer in our specialty department: cheeses, wines, crackers. Just a fantastic assortment of adult beverages and sparkling beverages. So that's the place to be.
Well, unfortunately, our time is up. We have to wrap this up, and then I have to apparently get to the Whole Foods cheese department because now I'm craving a nice little cheese and charcuterie board after this. Yeah.
I just want to thank everyone for their partnership this year in 2018 and all that they've put forth and that we've put on the shelf and that we're working after. I'm really excited about 2019. We start right back into this reset working really on in January, and it rolls right through. So we're very excited. Thank you for the partnership, and I look forward to seeing you in Austin.
Well, we're excited to continuing to see how the company grows in 2019 and continuing the relationship with you and all the brands that are on shelves.
Perfect. Thank you,
Thanks
Carol.
so much.
Appreciate it.